Hello again, everybody. This is Patrick, and this is Abigail, and it's after work, or school as the case may be. It's about 5:15 in the afternoon. I don't know about you, but I got off to a really late start today. Did you make it to school on time?
Oh yeah, I did.
The alarm that I set, when I looked at my alarm, it was set for every day except for today, because you can set it on like particular days. So when I woke up, it was 10 o'clock. And I was late for the interdisciplinary team meeting where I had a bunch of patients to present on.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so that wasn't very good. So I just hit the ground running and just went to my first patient's house. Well, the patient visits all went really well, but because of the way the scheduling worked out, I didn't really get to go to them in like the optimal order, or like the path, you know? Because I drove like 30 minutes away because I had to supervise one of the home health aides. And then I had to come all the way back to New London because somebody else had to supervise me at another patient's house. And then I had to go all the way back to that same town 30 minutes away to get my last visit done. So I was bouncing around all over the place today. The holidays are turning out to be really problematic, because when there's a holiday on one day, I have to plan to see those patients that I would have seen that day on a different day. Because the nurses who will be on call for the holiday don't have time to go out and do everybody's routine visits. So figuring out, I had, what was it, Veterans Day last week?
Yeah, I think it was
Veterans Day on Friday. So that kind of threw everything off, because I had to figure out, what day to see those people, because you have to see them within 7 days, And then next week is Thanksgiving. Do you know if that's on a weekday or a weekend?
It's always Thursday.
It's on a Thursday, so I'm going to have that problem next week too, a Thursday. I got to figure out what day of the week to see my regular Thursday patients. So that could get confusing. So it throws off my schedule. And then if I see them in 8 days instead of 7, I have to call the doctor's office and notify them that I didn't see them in 7 days. Which is doable, and I guess a lot of the other nurses do that because of holidays. They said most of the time they do that rather than seeing them again early when they don't need to be seen, I heard this rain is supposed to last until Thursday. Yeah.
Well, at least it's more seasonal than that blizzard.
Yeah. So what did you do at school today?
Nothing terribly interesting. Most of the fun stuff came after classes when I was hanging out with people.
Oh yeah? Was there a club, or were you just hanging out?
I was just hanging out.
Oh, that's cool.
It's been quite a boon for my social life.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's how it is.
And I talked with some people about having them come over and making them food and us all playing Skyrim.
Oh, cool. So we'll have a bunch of your college friends over soon then.
Sorry, the ones I talked to were guys. But I'll find a way to bring pretty girls over eventually.
That would be nice.
Oh, would you mind if I borrowed your Xbox 360 controllers for the Halo tournament Friday? I'll make sure to get them back.
I only have one controller right now. The other one is at my friend's place. Do you really need both of them?
No, it's just they need extra controllers.
Yeah, you can. I'm not going to be playing Dark Souls for a while, so you can bring my controller over.
Yeah, I'll make sure to get it back.
Well, I should hope so. So I haven't gotten my grade yet back on the head, ears, eyes, nose, throat, and mouth assessment that we did. What did you think of it?
Well, obviously from a professional standpoint, I can't give much feedback, but we were very funny.
I think we were very funny. I think the one that we do next week will be even more fun. I'm not even sure which system of the body it is.
But the comedy, it will come thick and fast.
Yes, the comedy. We will be making many jokes.
Which I'm sure is important to the nursing profession.
It is. It really is. So, if it's the lung assessments, we usually say something that has vowels and consonants in it, so I can hear how the vowels and the consonants resonate through the chest wall. And usually what I have people say is 99.
99?
I listen for the N's, and then I'll have them say EA.
EA?
To hear if there's a difference in the E and the A. But you can say whatever you want, as long as it's linguistically complex enough.
Indubitably, my friend. Oh, if you're looking for linguistic complexity, you have come to the right place.
Excellent. So that'll be fun then. I have to write another soap note tonight. I hate soap notes.
What are soap notes?
It's like this really archaic way of documenting. You still see MDs do it sometimes. But S stands for subjective, O stands for objective, and then assessment and plan. And it definitely has some limitations, but it's like a way that you really don't see people chart anymore. Now that everybody's doing electronic charting, nobody really does soap notes anymore. I see them once in a while on like nursing home charts or whatever, but it's like a very outmoded way of charting. And it's mainly, I mean, it's mainly something that physicians do. So I'm kind of, skeptical why we're doing it in nursing school.
Maybe so that you understand it when they do.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, I understand it. I've been reading, notes from other people for a long time. Seems like more ridiculous make work.
But a system that was built on the assumption that everyone participating is as smart as you wouldn't actually work.
Yeah, that's true. And then for religious studies class, by the weekend, I have to read, we have a choice of reading a book on Hinduism or a book on Buddhism. Of course, like through an entirely, Abrahamic-centric lens,
Oh, so you can't read any primary sources
No.
or secondary sources from, the actual culture?
No, we gotta, I picked Buddhism, so the book that we were assigned is like a book about Buddhism from the point of view of Christian prayer. That's like their,
utterly bizarre.
Yeah, that's like their way of exposing us to other cultures. But like, the reading assignment is all based on the assumption that this is an alien culture to you. And all the questions revolve around explain how this is different from your own beliefs. And of course I object to it being called a belief, in the first place. And how it's similar to or dissimilar to beliefs I may or may not have.
Well, you could always just write, this is dissimilar to the philosophies of Abrahamic religions in this way.
Yeah, well, I mean, the way that I have been doing it in like previous assignments is, like, for example, we had to read little blurbs on Marx and Freud and a sociologist and a philosopher and and things that they wrote about religion.
Yeah.
And the question was like, which one challenged you the most? Which one challenged your beliefs the most?
And none of them challenged you?
And my essays were like, well, I grew up reading all of these people, and I just sort of took it for granted that everybody understood these things to be true. Religion contained a lot of, sublimated sexual stuff and personal stuff like that in Freud's end, and on Marx's end, that it's used to maintain social order and prevent people from complaining about not having enough stuff,
Yeah, doesn't all that go without saying?
Yeah, well, I mean, I thought so, but when you're trying to teach the study of religion to a bunch of people who are all indoctrinated into one religion or another, I guess I could see how they have to break them out of that a little bit. But this is a 100s level class, and this is why I objected strenuously to taking 100s level classes. But they're making me take them anyway. Next semester, I get to take the Universal Human Search for Truth, Justice, and the Common Good. That should be fun.
Well, it is universal, so by the class's own claim, there should be something you can get out of it.
Yeah.
Hello? Hi, I'm in Patrick's car. We're all cozy and, sending out messages to the void. Okay. I appreciate your paranoid yet endearing concern for my well-being. I'll see you later. Bye.
Yeah, right before you called, Mom asked me if you'd called, and I said no. And then you called, and I just walked out of the house, so... I didn't tell her I was going to pick you up. So I think I have Thanksgiving off, and then I have to work the day before and after that.
Ryan and Melissa invited us up to their place.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to go up to that. I may have homework and stuff I gotta do. It is a long drive.
That's true. honestly, spending Thanksgiving in my pajamas playing Skyrim and yelling at dragons does sound pretty fun.
Yeah. Did you see that? Did you see that comic strip where the hero is, shouting at the dragon, says, "I've learned your language. Look, behold." And then the language is, then the dragon is like, it's like, "Oh well, your use of the future tense clause was good, but you might want to try blah blah blah," like picking apart the grammar.
Yeah. It was pretty fun.
Somebody posted that on my wall.
Somehow dragons as pedantic linguists are even more intimidating as flesh-eating lizards than as flesh-eating lizards.
Right.
Yeah. God, I don't even know what a gerund is. Stop talking to me about it.
You know what a gerund is, though.
Well, I was speaking as the Dragonborn.
Right. Well, that makes you more terrifying than a flesh-eating lizard, too, by comparison, huh?
Only slightly. It's a close shot.
So I got a thank you note from one of my friends on my Facebook wall because I apparently visited her grandfather as one of my patients. I was filling in for somebody and it happened to be her grandfather. And it presented a really interesting conundrum in that, I would never post the names of my patients on my Facebook wall. That's like a privacy thing.
Yeah.
But if one of their family members does it, is that still a privacy issue? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Apparently, if it's a post that somebody else makes, you can't retroactively change the security permissions of who can see it. Or maybe it's because I haven't set up any groups or anything. That might be the reason.
Yeah. Yeah, Facebook poses all sorts of privacy conundrums.
Yeah, well, I mean, the tools are there to fix, whatever, but, that health insurance portability and accountability law that, governs all of the, security clause and privacy and all that stuff, nobody's actually ever been sued with it. There's this big penalty, but nobody's ever paid it.
Huh.
Yeah. I mean, employers have fired people over it, but the government has never sued anybody over it. Yeah.
That's not a challenge for you to be the first, even though that would be historic and interesting.
Yeah, but that is.
You might get into your own textbook.
Yeah, that is over $100,000 we're talking about. So that's not the tense fate.
Nobody's ever been charged for this, and then.
It was Charlotte's grandfather, though. Yeah, it's really weird how often I run into people that are connected to people I know. I'm sure it's just
staying in the area where you grew up.
Well, there's that too, but I mean, sample size. There's hundreds of thousands of people around here, and just the number of patients in our census is only around 100 or 110, 120, something like that. And I'm only, I don't see all of them. I just see a small number of those people. But still, almost without fail, their grandmothers of people I went to high school with, which has happened more often than that time. I mean, that's definitely not the first time that's happened. Or, people related to, or, one of them was a former teacher at our high school. That was interesting. I think he was just a substitute while I was there.
I have rather fond memories of some of my substitutes, though.
Yeah.
If they were regulars, they could be, you could get to know them pretty well.
Yeah, there were some fun substitute teachers there. Did you ever have Mrs. Anu Perrick?
Anu Perrick. I don't...
Everybody just called her Mrs. O.
Oh, Mrs. O.
Yeah.
I had Mrs. O.
Yeah.
Anu Perrick. Who is this of which you speak? Oh, Mrs. O.
You had Mrs. O, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was nice. And then, the guy who was the drama coach for a while when our drama coach was, fired in disgrace or whatever, he came back and did some English classes.
Yeah, the year I went to Waterford, the new drama director had just come that year.
Now, is she related to Maggie Downey, who was in my grade? His last name, but her last name's not Downey.
The drama instructor is a guy, Shane Valley.
Oh, it's a guy. Oh, but there was somebody filling in the interim.
Yeah, I never met them before my time. friends over, and we're gonna play Skyrim and watch science fiction, and I'm probably gonna make bacon and pancakes.
That sounds delightful. When are you gonna do that?
I don't know. I'm gonna talk to them on Facebook about what days we all have available, so what would be convenient. Because one of them who's interested has a car, and I'm the one who has a copy of Skyrim, so...
You have to save me some bacon.
Of course.
And then now apparently that's a festivity food. I can't eat it on a daily basis anymore because of my cholesterol.
Well, your cholesterol's bad, like your vitamin D?
My vitamin D is a lot worse, but ever since I took those supplements, I'm feeling better.
Oh, well, that's good. Oh, so have you had a noticeable difference in weight?
I think I'm a little less tired now, and although it's hard to tell because I work and then I do homework and I'm up late, so it's kind of hard to tell that way. But interestingly enough, for the first few days after I took it, my back pain had completely disappeared.
Oh. Is it still lessened?
Yeah, I mean, it's less than it was. I feel it now. But the first few days after I took it, it might be just resting all weekends too, instead of like working the weekends. Just having 2 days off to just relax and not do anything might be part of it. But I really got to get some physical activity back in. I'm hesitant to jump back into Aikido with all the coursework that I'm doing. And
well, something gentler would be, I'm sure Jenny would love it if you gave her even short walks.
Yeah, I have to get like actual cardio though. I have to get my heart rate up.
Okay.
But we do have that recumbent bike. That might be good. I could read a book while I'm on the recumbent bike.
Gotta love an exercise you don't have to stop reading for.
Yeah, well, that's important.
That's how I always did my laps in high school. I mean, I'd walk the lap, but I'd read as I walked.
They let you get away with that, huh?
Yeah. Oh, they let me walk the laps in, like, floor-length flowing skirts while reading.
Well, that's nice.
But it's really weird. Like, at college, I have this actually pretty big social circle, and they've said, oh yeah, everyone likes you, Abby, and it's just really sort of odd for me.
Yeah, well,
I enjoy it, but it's odd.
It's a different world than high school.
Yeah.
I mean, the people that you're hanging out with now, a lot of them are working jobs, and they're going to school for something, or they're a little bit more closer to the adult end of the spectrum. Some of them have actual responsibilities.
Freaky.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't know what that's like. But
yeah, but it's not, the environment there, because it's not like a school where you all live at, and, you don't go there every day, all day, like you did with high school, so it's a lot looser. There's less of the sensation that these are a bunch of people that you're trapped with in a wet burlap sack going over a waterfall.
Less of a prison environment, yeah.
Yeah, less of an institutional environment too. Although that library, man, I checked out that new library, and that has a fair bit of panopticism going on in it.
Oh yeah, you can really be watched from anywhere.
Yeah, you can see everything from every part of it. It's pretty amazing. It does have a nice, open, breezy feel, but
I'm sure it's mostly for monitoring purposes.
Yeah, well, I kind of wonder how many people are tempted to jump off that balcony. I mean, that's a pretty long fall.
Well, I'm sure now that you've brought it up.
Yeah. The stacks.
Didn't occur to me until you mentioned it. Oh. But I mean, considering all the stuff people got up to in the high school library, like, I remembered hearing about people having sex in there, which, was there really a room in high school I didn't hear about people having sex in? It was sort of horrible.
Well, it's different when you're compelled to be there, If you're there voluntarily, then you've got time to do other stuff later.
Thanks for the ride.
You're welcome.